Hey there, folks. Time once again to do the daily targets on CSS Battle. I just wanted to mention a thank you to website DR and Trunglem6012 for their tips yesterday. Things that I had seen but never used and didn't think of at all and don't think of. I don't think I've ever used them in deployed websites. The first was about box shadow and the spread radius, right? Which is an incredibly useful tool for particularly CSS battles where you have this look and feel. This is the I believe this is the one that which one is that? It's this one here, which is great. You can see that red, and actually let's change the colors there to so that we can better tell which one is which, so I don't get confused. And make this one yellow. Let's call it no, orange. And then the other one is using the content box in addition to padding. Let's move that into a better position so that you can see that background, which is just a plain orange, is adhering. So, and this is related to background clip. So that's an additional parameter that's not related to the size, but is using background clip. And I'm looking forward to using that content box in different ways, because that's super useful, super interesting stuff. Appreciative of you folks leaving comments, particularly when I get to learn new stuff out of it, which is a great reason to put stuff on the web, because people will check you. And as opposed to being corrected, being a sad thing, no, it's awesome to learn new stuff. All right, all that said, thanks for that. Let's do today's CSS Battle, and I see that we have something to make me laugh, which is great. What do we got here? I want to say like a bug, the front view of a like a cricket, maybe something like that. All right, let's start with a paragraph tag. Yeah, he's just super cute, isn't he? All right, so how do we do him? How do we do this? Right now, I think I see probably two elements, one of which is flopped. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to give a width to this, width of 40. And let's start pushing things into place. So I'll set a base color of this black, or black, no, not black. Base color of the dark green. Okay, and I think I want to do display flex. And for now, we're going to do a gap, just a little 1 pixel gap, so I can see what I'm doing. All right. So let's push things into place. 30, 100, 100, 30, 40, 50, 50. There it is. Great. And now I'm going to move that gap, and I'm going to increase this width until it fits perfectly. It gets to be taller. 20, 1, 8, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, and then I think that the top is not good. 29, and that makes this 185 tall. Okay. So I've got two elements there. Now I do have a little concern about this, how I'm gonna do the legs, but I'm continuing my trend of doing the hard part last. So I'm gonna do the fun part first. All right. So I want to do the eyeballs. I'm going to call them eyeballs as the tippy top. So how do I do the eyeballs? I want a radial gradient, and I'm actually going to do this from the outside in. So I'm going to start with the white on the top and the green on the bottom, and create a circle. So let's see, radial gradient. Oh, I already did radial gradient, sorry. 1Q at 50%, 30 pixels. and it's going to be transparent on in the inside part. If it's 50 wide, then I want 25 pixels. And I'm going to what am I going to do? Oh, actually, 50% 0, I think is what I want. And then this dark green. Oh, whoops, not that. This color. All right, so that's how we get that guy. And I'm gonna push him down. So really just starting with the green. And I do 0 and then push down 10 pixels. And I guess I gotta repeat Y. Yeah, okay, so 20, 30, 40, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Or do I really want repeat X? Yeah, wrong repeat. Okay. What do I want next? What's next? And hey, could I do this on a single element? Could I do it on the body? Maybe. Let's take away this flex nonsense. Do that and then make the width. I don't need to set a width. There we go. I got it. There it is. I think I still want to do it on a paragraph element. What's kind of interesting is that that's repeating in a way that's surprising me. Oh, because I got more than one, that's why. So I got to kill that. I don't need him anymore. Okay, so I'm going to put pink as the background because I want to align this correctly. I don't think I have this aligned right. Yeah, so this top. Okay. So that's the next part of that. So I have, so that's all well and good. Now I think I want, what, a linear gradient? Or do I want, the next part I want to do is the white that's going up. So what's that look like? It's a very similar radial gradient. And funny enough, oh, and that background is not white. Ha ha ha. It's actually light gray, super light gray. So I'm wrong about that. I thought the eyes would be white, but I'm wrong. Okay. Okay, so now next, radial gradient. Radial gradient. And because these don't intersect, it doesn't matter how I do this. Radial gradient. And it's the top part, so it's 1Q at 50%, 100%, transparent, 25 pixels, and then white, or it's gray, 0, and it's going to be very, very similar to this. And right now that's broken because I have a trailing comma. There it is. Okay, so we have a 50% width and a height of like 20 pixels. And then I'm going to put a pink color in the background to see what the heck I've just done. There it is. So that's what I'm getting at. So the at is no good because I don't have enough of that circle. So 50%. So the height is not right. So maybe I don't need a height. How about a no repeat? No, I need to repeat Y. Oh, that's surprising. No, repeat X. Okay. Okay. 25. Yeah, that's what I want. And he's at just plain 0, 0. And I want the height to be just 25 pixels. And that's how I get that. Great. So what we've got in the pink background, now let's do eyelids, and that's going to be a linear gradient, which goes from the light green, transparent, and the light green. Very nice illustrative effect there, but we want the hard edges. How about 10 pixels? Is that right? I think that's right. Nope, a little more. How about 15? Nope, 16. 156, 16 pixels. How about 17? There it is. And we'll call that 30 pixels. 0, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. It's close. Seeing some edges there that might be bad, but might be nothing. All right, and then the next one is what? It's a linear gradient. No, radial. What am I thinking? Radial gradient. Oh, and I just lost my full screen. Let's go back to the full screen. Radial gradient, and then I think we want okay, we want a 1Q, and then black, maybe 5 pixels, and then transparent. And actually 3E's is smaller in terms of code. Now, I can't see that now. Why? Because it's probably in the middle right here. So I need to move that up. I need to be at 0 minus 100 pixels. 10. How about actually 50%? That's what I want. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There it is. So that's experience. The fact that I know to expect that there, don't expect to have that instinct, because yeah, it's a little bit on the weird side. So it's kind of in a weird spot. Oh, because of this, I think we want just 50%. 0. Oh no, wrong. There we go. So why is that radial gradient positioned the way it is? Do I need an at value? Actually, I don't fully understand that, or not. It's not obvious to me. It's probably obvious to you. 50% is the width of that, and then there's the eyeballs. Minus 20. We can make them look around. How about minus 15? How about 15? Okay, it needs to go a little higher. $10, $20. How about 0? There it is. Yeah, is that it? It might be it. How about okay. Then what's next? And now here's where using 2 elements would be maybe a little bit better, but you know, I don't care. That's good. So how do I make that shape? How do I make those little legs? Because whatever I make now is going to be on top of that, right? So is there a simple shape that I can do to create that? So I have this, and then that. You know what I'm thinking? Right now what I'm thinking is I'm going to create the light green as a block, and I'm going to fall back on my default of conic gradient, which is at what, 130 pixels, 30 pixels, transparent. No, that's actually E. 75%, 75%, dark green, or light green rather, and then move it into position. Okay. A little further over, 20. And then the at needs to be, make it a little wider. 4, 5, 6, and then a little taller. 4. And then I'm going to use a box shadow. Yeah, box shadow. Of what? So the height is 185, so it's probably like, 175 pixels down. 0, 175 pixels. Maybe minus 10. Minus 20, maybe minus 15, and then the same again, and then beginning of the colors, and then the same again, but 15 and 175. That's just eyeballing it. I'm not using the diff there, and I need the color again. And those numbers are a little wrong. How about 10? How about 20? 15, 16, and then this number needs to be smaller. How about 170, 71, 169. So that'll be the same number, 169, and that number should be 16. All right, now here's where we get to find out if it's 100% match. Is it? Maybe, but maybe not. 99.9% match. So those eyeballs are wrong. They're just a little bit wrong, and that's the green. That's this guy. So there's something off with this guy. So 1Q at 50%, 0, 25 pixels. How about 22, 23, 24, 25, and submit that. And if that's 100%, I think that's where I'm going to stop today. Yeah, that's 100%. So that's not, it's a lot of code, right? It's not particularly efficient code. Each one of these things could be an element. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. You could do an element and make half of it and then flop it with a scale. That's totally legit. I'm going to minify and unit replace. And I think that's how I'm going to solve this problem. Solve this particular target. Fun little creature, little critter. Definitely room for much optimization. Much optimization that the best players would do. I am your humble servant. No, I'm not particularly humble. I love doing these. I love making CSS illustrations. I love doing clever and interesting stuff with CSS. I have a lot of fun with this stuff, but it's always a learning process. I love learning new things, do it for fun. Hope you're having a good day, and I hope you go do this and do it fun ways, because it's great. As I look at it, I see more and more ways to do it, every time I think about it. You know, this could be the borders of an element, right? A second element rather than those box shadows, right? With the borders on the sides and top and not on the bottom. And I think that would totally work. But you would need to do that second, probably, right? You would need to put that first and then do whatever this element is second. You could also use the nested template and squeeze and stretch on the body element, and then do afters or different box shadowy things there too. So yeah, super fun. Again, have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Go make a web page. Go make something fun with the web, because the web is great. All right, bye.